The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of Melanie Yelvington and Kimberly Taylor and are for entertainment purposes only. We mean no disrespect to the victims nor their families. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to hit that subscribe and follow button and like us. Veil of Humanity is a weekly podcast where we give you a look behind the human-like mask killers wear. So let's dive on in.
What is up, my crime crazy people? This is your producer, Courtney Santos, and host of our new segment, Kajibana, or more commonly known as the Red Spider Lily. Red Spider Lily symbolize death, final goodbyes, abandonment, and bad luck. And some legends have it that if you see someone whom you may never meet again, these flowers will bloom along the path you take. We are heading back to May of last year, a normal day by any means, except for something strange people began seeing all over the town of Mound, Minnesota. A Chevrolet Impala with a busted back windshield and a missing tire. What the people who saw that car didn't know was the horrors it held inside and the insanity that would follow and break hearts all around the country. Now, that day, officers received reports about that vehicle stating, and I quote, "A citizen saw the vehicle at a gas station not long before the traffic stop. An affidavit of probable cause filed in the case alleged." The information provided was that the vehicle had stopped near the dumpsters, and when police went to go check those dumpsters, they found a backpack, blood, and brain matter. Authorities also found a bloody child's booster seat in another dumpster, which had sustained serious damage. That same day, not long after they found that in the dumpster, they conducted a traffic stop on May 1st of 2022 when another officer saw that Thaler's tires were missing and she had been driving on the rim. They looked at the car and saw that the back window was blown out and there was blood on Julissa Thaler's hand. And they saw shotgun shells and spent casings in the vehicle. Now, Thaler was actually initially released from the scene. She left her car there with the police officers, but she was later arrested after the police found her son, Eli Hart's body in the trunk. Officers noted that Thaler had blood and what appeared to be brain matter in her hair at the time of arrest. Her bond was $2 million. Now, this is a quote from the preliminary autopsy report. The findings revealed that Hart, the little 6-year-old boy, had been shot multiple times, possibly up to 9 times, including shots to the torso and head. They estimate that this happened on May 19th of 2022. Investigators said that she strapped Eli into his car seat and shot him while he was in the car in the parking lot at Lake Minnetonka Regional Park in Minnetrista. Excuse me if I butchered those names. A witness later told police that Thaler had been carrying a shotgun that was wrapped in a gray blanket in and out of her apartment, and they didn't know where she got the gun. At the time of little Eli's death, he was the subject of a custody battle with his father, Torrey Hart, and his mother, Julissa Thaler. His father was trying to get custody from his mother. In January of 2021, Dakota County filed a Child Protective Service order and gave legal and physical custody of Eli Hart to the County Social Services. Thaler was granted full custody of Eli on May 10th, and he was killed only 10 days later. At the trial, during the closing arguments, her defense lawyer, Thaler's, Brian Leary, said that she did participate in the boy's death, but was not the one who shot him. He said there was no eyewitnesses, photos, or videos connecting her to the killing. She was not charged with the crime they have proved. She destroyed evidence, lied to the police, ran away, but they have not proved beyond a reasonable doubt that the gun was in her hand when it was fired 9 times into her son. That's a direct quote from her lawyer, which is a piece of bull. Who else would want to shoot a 9-year-old? I mean, nobody should ever want to shoot a 9-year-old. Ever. Thaler did not testify, and her defense called no witnesses, so they pretty much put up fantasy. This is the stupidest defense I've ever heard. Assistant Hennepin County Attorney Dan Allard, who was working for the prosecution, says that overwhelming evidence, including cell phone data, linked her to all the sites involving the death, show that Thaler killed her son, either for the life insurance money or because of her mental health or after the stress of a custody battle with the boy's father, among other things. Even before this, there was problems. Police responded to Thaler's Farmington home 21 times in 10 months. 21 times. That is like 2 or 3 times a month. She had been arrested for stealing drugs from a health clinic and had to find a new drug testing facility because of her bizarre behavior. Julissa Thaler lost custody of her son twice, first in October of 2020, and then for most of 2021. Some of the reasons why she lost custody was because she had a history of severe mental illness and yet had stopped seeing her therapist. She repeatedly had unstable housing, including being forced to move for violating her leases. She failed to complete a parenting education program for missing too many classes. And she failed to remain law-abiding, including facing a charge for stealing drugs the year before. So, not winning any Mother of the Year awards. And even during her trial, the defense was negligible, as if they didn't do one at all. I mean, how could they when her cell phone history spoke volumes? It included, and this is just a few, there's so many more, how to keep a child away from the other parent with visitation, how to fake being home to the cops, how much blood can a 6-year-old lose? Are you joking me? Qualifying accidental deaths, how much does life insurance pay for dead children? And yet she had no remorse, even as she was being sentenced to life in prison without parole. She should have gotten the death penalty, in my opinion. The death penalty is what she deserved. She stated, and this is a direct quote, "I'm innocent. Fuck you all. You're garbage." And the judge clapped back, yes, clap back. The judge responded to her and said, "Miss Thaler, I don't know that that's appropriate here," Judge Quam said. "The worst thing that seems to happen to parents is to lose their child. It's worse, though, when you don't lose your child to something like cancer or an accident. It's when someone takes that child from the world. What I can't imagine, nobody can imagine, is when the person who takes a child from the world is the one that brought that child in." I agree, Judge. I agree. Julissa Thaler, 29 years old, as of this year, was found guilty of first-degree premeditated murder and second-degree intentional murder as of February 8th. She is now serving her time in an undisclosed prison, where she belongs. We'll be back next week with our regularly scheduled episode. Bye!
All right, my crime crazy people. We will be back next week with a brand new episode. To see all of our source material, please consult the show notes and don't forget to click that subscribe, follow button and follow us on our social media at Veil of Humanity Podcast, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Hosted by Kimberly Taylor and Melanie Elvington, produced and music by Courtney Santos, edited by Courtney Santos and Xavier Foster, a Brunk Bay production.
Okay, Bronk, tell them we will see them again next week.